Hi everyone, my name is Claudia. Um, this semester of college, I took a English 205 course, and our final project was to write a large essay where the prompt was basically how your relationship with your parents and other close people as such has affected, if at all, your education. And that's what my essay was about. I answered a few questions in order to help me write that essay, and now I have my mom here. Her name is Julia. She's going to be answering those questions, and it's going to be definitely a different point of view than I had because she's from a different country that I'm from. She wasn't raised here, and so it would be interesting to see how our answers differ. So let's begin. Okay, guys, so here's my mother. Please introduce yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from and when you moved to the United States, please.
Hello everybody, my name is Yulia. My last name is Bushlova, which is very Russian last name. I moved in the United States in 1992, and those days my country was Soviet Union, and now my country, since it's fell apart, Soviet Union, my country is Ukraine, and I've been in the United States for 24 years.
Okay, perfect. So, as you know, I took an English class this semester of college, and we discussed some interesting topics. Our course theme were three words: liberation, revolution, and education. And so these questions kind of have to do with that. So let's get started. Number one, how does your relationship and your interactions with your parents affect you in school, if at all?
Well, in general, I was very lucky. I did have and still have a wonderful family. My parents never get divorced. I have an older sister. We all still enjoy time together whenever we have a chance. So schooling was in my family. My both parents were had a bachelor's degree, and schooling was something normal, and we all knew that we have to go to school and school is good for you. So schooling was important and supported by the family and my parents and my older sister.
Is it something that you thought that you had to do or something that you wanted to do as well?
It just was like everybody done it, so it was there is no other way. But I always enjoy the school. We actually even had a program you stay after school. If your parents, most of our parents used to work, so we stayed after school and we did the homework with the teacher. We had activities, we had games. We spent time together with each other, with our friends. So I always love school for many reasons, for social and for study, and it just was absolutely a normal way to grow up. It was no other options for us.
Question number two is: has your perception of your parents influenced your pursuance of education at all?
Yes, it did, because my both parents, since they had a bachelor's degree, they both have a very good job, especially my father. And because of that, I always knew that if you want to do well in the future as a grown up, as adult, you have to have an education.
So, do you think the mentality that you had before, a couple of decades ago, that getting a good education is almost the only way to succeed, do you think that is still true today?
Today is a little bit different, but I still believe that education is very important. How you can get it, it's a different thing. It's not necessary be like regular formal education like it's used to be. You go into school and you spend a lot of years studying. I think it's other options now, since internet is available in every household. So I think you can gain knowledge. Absolutely, you need it, and to become a professional. but it's not necessary. It's not only the school. It could be other sources. This is how I see it.
What race do you identify with?
Uh, for me, because I grew up in a country where we were not a mixed country. We all had the same race. We had different nationalities like Russians, Ukrainians, but it for us it was never a difference. Like me personally, I have Russian blood, Ukrainian blood, and Polish blood, and I speak the three languages. But it was never race. It was never a question in the times I was growing up. We all were the same. We all were similar. It was not.
So race did not have to do with skin color.
No, it's never. It's in a surrounding I grew up. It was not such a thing.
Would you consider yourself a minority?
No,
No.
I am immigrant in this country. I have English is not my first language. I didn't grow up here. I came here when I was 24 years old. Minority, no.
Have you ever felt discriminated against in America because you are an immigrant?
No, I don't think I ever did, but I think it also has to do with personality, how you react to certain things, and how you look at. Uh, I know I have a different upbringing a little bit, not because I choose it. It just happened, and I live in this country now for more than 20 years. I learn a lot, but feel discriminated? No, never did.
Have you ever seen someone else be discriminated against because they are an immigrant or because they are a minority in terms of race?
I've seen people struggling with the communication because English is not their first language. And I, in the beginning, when I came to this country, I was one of them. I've seen that, but like discrimination or I never experienced or I haven't seen it. Difficulties with the understanding, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have the last question here. The question is, do you think that the American education system should start teaching kids in school about race and discrimination that happens due to race in this country?
Um, Teaching kids about discrimination and race, I I don't think so. I think America is the most liberate country, and it's a lot of nationalities living together. And to my point of view, everybody has the same equal chance to go to school, to get financial aid. I was not born here. I came here, and I have a lot of friends in the same position situation like me. We all were immigrant, and we all come here. And I went to college myself. I know a lot of people who went to college being immigrant, and language is a second. English is a second language. So I don't think kids has to be taught about race or something. If we don't talk about this, maybe, and just be nice and kind to each other, maybe it would be no even need or point to talk about this.
Okay, Yulia, thank you so much for participating in this discussion here and answering these questions. And that would be all. Do you have any closing notes that you'd like to conclude with?
Yes, guys, life is beautiful. Enjoy it, and I really do believe if human being or person wants to achieve and wants to get somewhere, he will do it, regardless where he's from, poverty or different country or coming in this country and don't speak language. You know what? Just have a desire and do it, and enjoy life.